Good morning, Cal Young. Um, Today is Wednesday, and I'm actually recording this on Sunday at my house, so I apologize. My dishwasher is very loud. This video is about a reminder regarding Erins law, and then we will have a quick activity related to boundaries and having students provide information about what they think appropriate boundaries are. And then we'll have a few additional slides related to resources for when you suspect there might be neglect or physical abuse of someone, and an additional slide related to when you have a concern related to someone who may self-harm or is talking of suicide. So first, just a reminder about Erins law. We did a video like this about a month ago. And if you recall, Erins law was passed in many states, and it's related to encouraging schools to discuss appropriate boundaries and unsafe touch or young persons from adults, as well as the impacts of neglect and or physical abuse. So today I want to discuss Erins law by giving you an opportunity to talk about boundaries and what are appropriate boundaries. And so first, I just want to define what that means. So boundaries they range from personal boundaries to, political boundaries. Countries or nations have boundaries. They have lines that you need permission to cross. So think of it in that context. Of course, there are laws and rules that serve as boundaries that ensure that people do not engage in certain types of behavior. And there are certain ages in which people are deemed appropriate for certain types of behavior. For example, seeing an R-rated movie, you need to be 18. Drinking an alcoholic beverage, you need to be 21. Of course, additionally, laws and rules establish standard threshold for certain privileges like voting and driving. So think about boundaries in that context. But people have boundaries too. And determining other people's boundaries often takes some time to figure out. And everyone's comfort with different boundaries are different. Some people, for instance, don't like it when others stand too close to them. It makes them uncomfortable. Certain kinds of language are uncomfortable to some people, like vulgar curse words or lewd language that is overly sexual. Especially when directed at someone, it can violate someone's personal boundaries. So what I'd like to do is to share a slide really quick. And of course, you guys can see this slide as well. Let me do my share, and hopefully this works right. I want your class, your advisory class, to have a conversation about boundary invasions. So what are appropriate boundaries? What is the amount of physical space, the distance that feels comfortable to you? How close before it becomes uncomfortable if you're talking about a friend? How about an adult that you know or an adult that you don't know? So I'm going to ask that our teachers pause this video and give you a minute to think about these questions by yourself. Then pair share for 2 minutes, and then have a full conversation. Do know that after you have this conversation, there'll still be 5+ minutes of additional video. Thank you. Please pause now. Okay, I guess you're back and you finished your conversation. I bet that was interesting, and that everyone's feelings about different boundaries were a little bit different, which is normal, that everyone would have different comforts for physical space and for language and things like that. Next, I want to remind you about some resources that we provided in the last slideshow related to Erins law and boundary invasions or sexual abuse or sexual harassment. If you suspect that you have been a victim or someone else has been a victim of these. There is a department called the Oregon Department of Health and Human Services, or DHS. And you see that the phone number is right there, 541-686-7878. Of course, you can consider calling the Eugene or Springfield police departments, or 911 if you feel like it's a high level emergency. We have our own safety net of individuals in the Sheldon region. You know, the principal and assistant principal, our school counselor. We have some school safety resources that shift around from Monroe to Sheldon to Cal Young. And of course, any trusted adult you can make a report to that would initiate some sort of investigation and looking into it. Additionally, I want to give you some additional resources now about if you are concerned about someone who is discussing self-harm or suicide, or is just at a place where their mental health, their emotions are very heavy, they're sad, they feel stuck, and you want to ask for help for them. There's a number of resources you could consider. There's a suicide crisis hotline for yourself, or if you want to call about someone else. And it's similar to the 911 number. It's 988. So if any person just dials 988, they get a conversation with an individual. There's also a resource called Safe Oregon, which can be an app or a website, you know, www.safeoregon.com. Or it has a number that you can either call or text. And those are reported tips for someone's safety. It could also be reports related to if you feel like someone is going to do something violent to someone else or to a group, you can report it there, and it initiates notifications to many people who will try to help in the situation. Again, we have the same other resources that you could consider. We also have some spaces on the Cal Young website that you could look at. I put, again, talk to any trusted adult, because that is like the most common way that we get information in our school and in our community related to concerns about safety. People generally talk, and they come and they tell somebody, and it comes to us, and we try to help. We're here to help people and support people. So we initiate various processes to try to help. There's a couple of places that you can input information on the Cal Young website in the student menu. I have a little picture of it there. If you just pull down the student menu on the Cal Young website, you could see the concerns, complaints. You could input anything there, and it automatically sends information to the office. Or there's one that says, need help, contact us. We also will respond to that. If you don't know which one to use, just use one of them. It will initiate an email to somebody who can support you. So I just want to make sure that students feel like they have various ways to ask for support when they need it or they suspect that someone else is harmed. So if you have any questions about that, please discuss as an advisory group. Please contact the main office and ask. We are here to support you. Thank you all. Have a great day.